Okay, good morning students. So today we will be continuing with our chapter as we were discussing about water, right? So in our previous discussion or in our previous class we talked about various things about water. That means importance of water, sources of water, distribution of water. Then we talked about forms of water also, and recently we discussed about how water leaves the earth atmosphere and how it's come back. In that sense, the whole scenario or the whole phenomena, we can call it as water cycle. Okay, so we will have a definition of water cycle. That means the continuous flow of water from flow of water in the nature is termed as water cycle. That means the continuous circulation of water, in nature or in, you can say, atmosphere. We are not going to write atmosphere because atmosphere means above the earth's surface. So in nature it will be okay. In nature is termed as or is called water cycle. Okay, that means we have learned about that how water escapes the earth's surface. That means how water escapes the earth surface. That means water escapes the earth surface in the form of evaporation. That means evaporation from oceans, evaporation of water due to the heat of the sun, or you can say due to the atmospheric temperature, normal atmospheric temperature. Second, by the process of transpiration. Okay, mostly by plants. Okay, water is transported or transferred from the from the earth surface to the atmosphere, okay, by the process of transpiration. Then number third, we have respiration. Means water vapor is released from the animals. Okay, when we respire means when we breathe. That means breathe in, animals mostly breathe in oxygen and give out carbon dioxide. So in that process also water vapor act as a byproduct. Okay, that means water is released from the animals. Now, as we know that water in oceans, rivers, seas, ponds and other, what you can say, other water bodies gets evaporated due to heat. Okay, similarly plants release water into the air by transpiration. Mostly plants, they release the water by transpiration, and animals release water vapor by the process of respiration. Okay, then when this water escapes in the atmosphere, okay, atmosphere means when it becomes light due to the heat of the sun, and when it evaporates upsides, okay, it forms a clouds. That means clouds are actually what? They are a cluster of water droplets. Clouds are a cluster of water droplets. That means it contains water vapor in it. It contains water vapor in it. Okay. So then when these droplets become heavier, they fall down as, what you can say, they fall down as rain and snow, depending upon the temperature or atmospheric temperature. Okay, that means at places where there is an average temperature of 20-25, it rains, but at places where there is an average temperature of almost 0, that means it can be minus also, or it can be 1 and 2 also, the water will come down as snow. Okay, and after this, what happens, this water is filled up in the water bodies. Again, water bodies like oceans, seas, lakes, ponds, and even rivers. That means it loses from the earth's surface, it forms the cloud, then it rains. Okay, what happens? Then it rains and again percolates the water bodies. Not even water bodies, it fills the underground water also. That is not visible naturally. Okay, when we make a well, that means kua, okay, then we can see it. That means this all cycle, that means from escaping from the earth's surface, then forming the clouds, then again after that, after it becomes heavy, it falls it falls in the form of rain and snow, and again same thing happens. That means the water is filled in water bodies, and again after evaporation, again it escapes. That means it forms a continuous cycle here. Okay, that means the water is available on the earth to start from the journey. That means we can say that water doesn't go anywhere. Okay, water doesn't go anywhere. It keeps on rotating in the atmosphere. It keeps on rotating in the atmosphere. Okay, so I will just make a simple diagram to explain you about the water cycle. About the water cycle. Suppose let's say this is a, what you can say, this is a mountains. Okay, and this is underground water. Then just say that this is water bodies. Suppose say this is an ocean or lakes or ponds, whatever you can say. Okay, and there are trees here. Okay, underground water is here. This is the surface of the surface. We will make the tree quite up. Okay, as the water surface must be this act as a soil. Okay, this act as a soil. Then we have various trees here. Let's see, let's have a tree here, small tree. Then here, not in water bodies. Okay, so just think this as a simple atmosphere. Okay, simple atmosphere. And as we all know that sun shines every day. Actually, sun doesn't shine every day. Due to the rotation of the earth, we can see the sun. So due to the heat of the sun, the water from the water vapor, the water from the water bodies gets evaporated. What happened? It gets evaporated. That means the loss of water by evaporation. That means upward movement when it gets light. That means when the water vapor is light or the water gets heated, okay, it will go upwards. Then in the process of transpiration also, water goes upwards. Then when it go upwards, it forms a clouds, and in these clouds, when water gets accumulated, okay, when water gets accumulated, it acts as a rain. That means it's not that it's fixed at any place. These clouds are not fixed at any place. They can move as we can observe the phenomena. That means it can move from one place to another. Okay, that means let's say that these clouds move to this direction, here also. So what happens when these clouds gets heavier? They act as they fall towards the ground. Okay, they fall towards the ground. So again the water is get filled. That means through evaporation and transpiration, the water forms the cloud, and after that, again when it is condensed, it will fall down as a rain and snow. Snow in high altitudes and rain at normal places. So this continuous circulation of water in nature is termed as water cycle, and this is very important in terms of cooling down. As for example, why this water cycle is important? First of all, we will talk about the formation of the earth. If you will come to know later on that how our earth is found. Our earth is found, actually the earth was a hot ball of gases. How was earth? Earth was a hot ball of gases. Previously, billion of years ago, that means when earth was created, earth was a hot ball of gases. Okay, earth was a hot ball of gases. Then suddenly what happens? After slowly, it's not that it was a gradual, it was a quick process. Slowly what happens? The earth begins to cool down due to water. Okay, the earth begins to cool down due to water, and this water in terms of water cycle act as a, what you can say, to regulate the atmospheric temperature. That means importance of water cycle. We will discuss about importance of water cycle. So in the importance of water cycle, first of all we will take that water helps in regulating weather. Number one, it helps in regulating weather. Okay, that means weather on the earth. Weather on the earth. That means weather, as we all know that weather in all the places is not fixed. That means it's not constant at any places. At some place it is much more, the weather is much more higher. As for example, in Western India, okay, Western India means a part of Gujarat, the part of Rajasthan, the weather is very much hot. Whereas in the part of Madhya Pradesh, Uttar Pradesh, it's normal. That means it's moderate. But whereas in higher altitudes, it is cold. That means water, during the water cycle, it regulates the temperature. Okay, that means when it is hot, it will neutralize it, so that habitat or the survival can be there. Okay, survival of both plants and animals can have there. Okay, that means it helps in regulating weather. Second, water cycle makes water available in various forms on the earth. That means availability of water at various places. Okay, so in this point we will talk about rainfall. Simple. Okay, as for example, during the water cycle, what happens when the water loses from the earth atmosphere? It forms the cloud. Okay, and after it forms the cloud, after condensation or after when it gets heavier, it falls down as rain, and it provides water to various places where there is rivers. Okay, and the places where there is an agricultural field. Okay, so that for the crops water can be available. Okay, at various places. Otherwise, if water cycle was not there, shouldn't have been there. Actually, it is not possible, because if that could happen, then the life also does not exist at that time. But suppose if it is water cycle doesn't exist, that means at various places, in various places where there is no rivers, places where there are no rivers, that can be affected. That land can be barren. Okay, so due to availability of water at various places. In terms of rainfall, you can write. Okay, in terms of rainfall. Okay, and others are that what you can say, there are various other things that it helps in. Helps to percolate groundwater. Percolate groundwater means when it rains, okay, most of the water is absorbed by the soil, and through different small pores it goes deep into the ground at certain base. Okay, or you can say the water table. Then this water we can use it by various means for our domestic use. Okay, in the form of what you can say, wells, okay, tube wells, etc. And this water is fit for consumption. Why it is fit for consumption? It is fit for consumption because when it percolates, that means when it goes down, okay, all the impurities are captured in the soil. Okay, the soil act as the what you can say, the purifier. Okay, soil act as a purifier, and we can use this water for drinking. We can use this water for drinking. So this was all about water cycle. Okay, so in this session we talked about what do you mean by water cycle. That means it is the continuous circulation of water in nature. Continuous circulation, that means at any period of time. It's not that during summer the water cycle will happen and during winter it will not. No, it's not that. Okay, so it is a continuous process. Yes, the rate of continuation of water cycle can be differ according to the temperature. Then we talked about how water loses, okay, by what process. So we have almost basically three processes: evaporation, respiration and transpiration. Then how water droplets, in which form water droplets accumulate, so in the form of clouds. Then we talked about what are the procedure that again it comes back to the earth. That means it comes back to the earth in the form of rain, or you can say precipitation. Okay, then various water bodies or rivers, groundwater, they are filled up. Then what are its importance? So first important is it helps in regulating weather on the earth. Okay, that means to maintain a fixed temperature, not fixed but suitable temperature, suitable temperature, suitable climate. Okay, suitable climate for our survival. Okay, as most of the people, they can survive in hot places also. Most of the people, they can survive in cold places also, as for example in desert, okay, or in equatorial belt or in polar region. Okay, but basically it helps in regulating weather on the earth. Then availability of water at various places. That means where there is ocean, rivers, lakes, seas, they can get the water. Okay, but at places where there is no rivers, how do those area gets water? So those area gets water by water cycle only. That means by the process of rainfall only. Then it helps to percolate groundwater. That means to fulfill the water, the required water in the ground. Okay, so this was all about water cycle.